Oh, hey guys. My name is Dustin Hyde. I'm a teacher at Penticton Secondary School and an avid video game player who fundamentally believes that there is value, relevancy, and importance in not only gamifying educational experiences for youth, but actually studying and playing video games. You see, video games can be used as a tool to teach specific educational competencies and subject specific learning outcomes across all sorts of different subjects and school disciplines. But perhaps most importantly, they can be utilized to engage, motivate, and foster collaboration and problem solving skills amongst youth. In this media production, I'm going to be taking you through why I believe that video games ought to be used in educational contexts. So sit back, relax, and prepare to get yourself ready to game in the classroom. So why not start with a little bit of gaming right now? This is about gaming, so might as well get into some gaming, right? So I'm gonna get online right here with some of my buddies. Gonna be playing Rainbow Six. There it is, Rainbow Six Siege. It's a competitive online shooter game, and we are going to be defending an objective against a team that's going to be ingressing against us. So pay particular attention to the communication, the problem-solving skills, and the collaboration that involved in this particular game. And hopefully I don't disappoint. Feeling a little bit of pressure right now, but here goes. Okay, guys, 10 seconds up. I just put nitro charge on the east side wall. They're coming in. They know where we're at, so let's work together. Okay, I got my booby trap set up. Also, east side wall coming into the kind of the kitchen area, foyer. Here we go. They're looking to come right now, so let's make sure we work together, call them out. Use compass location directions if at all possible, fellas. I got my next booby trap on that trap door on the north. Bomb looks pretty secure, so let's work together and again call them out rather than say they are over here. Oh, we got shots fired. Shots fired north side wall. Somebody's down. Shoot, hey. Shots in, shots in, shots in, shots in. Shots in. Here we go. Taking a look. Oh, it's definitely a guy with a shield. Nice. Reloading. Take him out. Nice job, guys. Leaning in. Shots coming in. Don't run in front. Nice. Got him. I got him. Excellent. Yeah. Frag in there. I like it. Smoke's in. We got another guy coming in on the east over there. Shot in. Okay, reloading, just backing up while I reload. Checking my rear. Nothing. We're clear over here, guys. Keep putting. Okay, here we go. Oh, shots in. On the stairs. Oh, he got me on the stairs. He's coming up the stairs. Ah, dang. Man, Umagar. These guys are good. See if you can get him. He's still on the stairwell there. Yeah, last one for our team, man. Good try. Round 2 lost again, hey? These guys are good. Let's give them another go. Well, they lost. But that's okay. One of the things you saw at the end of the clip there was I said, well, those guys are good. Let's play them again. And that's exactly what we want to bring into education is that replayability, that competitiveness, that motivation, that resiliency to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep getting better. That's what games can do for education, and that's what fires me up. However, saying all of that, there's a lot of people out there, literature, media, that is indicating that games are not great for education and games are not great for youth in general. So I would like to explore a little bit of that debate and just go through and provide some of the justification that we are seeing right now, mainly in media, with respect to how and why games are not fantastic for youth, and in particular not great for education. So let's go explore that, and then we'll get back into what I hope you believe a compelling reason why we should be bringing games into the classroom and look at some of the literature to support that. But let's start with the negative Nellies.
This is a new game called Fortnite. Fortnite's popularity is now a cause for concern.
Fortnite is the best babysitter I've ever had.
Parenting alert about a popular video game so many kids are playing.
Playing one called Fortnite. Now the latest video game craze is Fortnite.
Have I lost my children to Fortnite?
This is a viral game.
This online survival game has kids and teens competing to kill each other on screen.
There's no storyline except to kill.
Wow, that's can be a lot of negativity. Fortnite in particular is garnering a lot of media attention, a lot of negative press about that. But just going to throw up some images here. First one, this is your child's brain on video games. Shows a nuclear blast. That's a mental health column. Here is study links video game use to problems in school. Next one I'll throw up here, the professor who thinks video games will be the downfall of men in general. Yes, video games are ruining your kids' social skills. And the effects of video games on school achievement. So there is a lot of media right now around video games and their potential attack on a child's social situation, on a child's ability to be academically successful, and it can be really, really difficult time. And that certainly has a big play on how educators, how administrators, how school districts, even for that matter, are considering and contemplating how to bring in educational games and games in general into an educational context. So what I'd like to do now is take a look at what some of the literature is saying in support of bringing video games into the classroom. So, folks, I think a great place to start is first and foremost just looking at how popular video games are. So, you can see here from the video that I'm just about to pull up that video games are on the rise in terms of popularity. You know, we're talking over 2 billion gamers that are gaming on a regular basis. And you can see here a pretty healthy mix in terms of gender, 54% male, and just under that for females. And, the different types of games are a little bit different per gender, but the fact is that you got 2 billion people globally that are interested in gaming, and that number is only expected to rise. To me, that warrants some great consideration in terms of bringing games into the classroom. So, having said that, I think we should take a look and see what some of the scholars are saying in terms of, how might games, be of value in the classroom. So in the last decade or so, video games have been the source of many research studies. And more recently, studies have started to focus more on like multiplayer games and their impact on students and education. So much of the proponents of gaming and education have pointed to video games as a tool to foster collaboration. So you can see I'm going to throw up some quotes here from Gretchen Kelly's 2009 study on massive multi-online games and their impact on education. And you can see there fostering collaboration is something that popped up again and again. They also argued that games can result in increased interaction, socialization, and community forming. And you see that in many, many games today. You see that not only are kids and adults gaming, they're also going online and creating wikis and all sorts of other kind of websites and tools designed to help increase people's understanding of those games, which is really, really fundamentally important. Gretchen Kelly also, tied in Vygotsky's zone of proximal development in terms of higher level development and learning resulting in problem solving and collaboration with peers. And finally, that games lead to, as I mentioned before, learning beyond just gaming or beyond just the classroom, and that some students and gamers are just really fundamentally trying to become the best that they can at this particular game, and it results in this continuation of learning and gaming much beyond just the game itself, and if you are gaming in the classroom, the game in the classroom itself. So other researchers have found some interesting findings as well. This year, Bawa, Watson, and Watson published an article entitled "Motivation is a Game," and that was this year. And they found that essentially gaming is a more powerful tool than traditional forms of edutainment that we as teachers have been utilizing and continue to use every day. So, using movies to teach social issues or to teach issues that pertain to learning outcomes, that games are probably more powerful and more engaging. They also found that, increasing amounts of teachers right now in 2018 are trying to leverage games and find creative ways to bring them into the classroom. And one of the key things that really struck me about the Bawa et al. Article is that teachers, according to them, should be less concerned about developing, perfect lessons and units and pedagogy around how to bring games in, and just bring games in and let students play with them, interact with them, and then draw out lessons as they see fit. So to me, that was really, really important, and it's a bit of an aha moment for me because that, kind of gives me the authority to say, you know what, I'm going to be bringing in this game and we're going to study this particular issue as a result of the game, even though they may not mesh perfectly. As you can see from the media production, I think I've made a compelling case for kind of the rise in popularity of gaming. It's evident that more and more people are gaming, that students are increasingly motivated by gaming, that there's a huge component of socialization and community building with respect to games, specifically multiplayer games. the question remains, how do teachers bring in games into their classrooms? So lots of different perspectives and thoughts on that. Like the Bawa article, you could simply find a game that you think might tie in nicely to a learning outcome and bring that game in, play through it with your class, study the game, watch some gameplay footage on YouTube, or you can take the next step, and that's something that I did. I'm going to throw up right now basically a BAA course approval form. So I went through the process this year of creating my own course. It's called Esports, the History, Rise, and Future of Competitive Gaming. And it got approved this year by our school district, and I'm super excited. We're going to float that course out there for the course selection guide this March, and I hope that the course blows up. A big part of my goal here is to really service a population at our school that's, never really been serviced before. We've got athletes, we've got artists, we've got different club members in our school that have teams and structured ways of coming together, but we have nothing for our gamers. And surveying a lot of the students around campus here, what do you do after school? Do you game? It's almost unanimous. Almost every single student in this school games in some capacity. So I want students to be aware of the rise of gaming and the potential in terms of career associated and related to the enterprise and industry of gaming. And that could be something that people look to do at their own school, is develop a course around the history of gaming, and tie that into all sorts of different really, really important learning that can take place in the schools. So hope you've enjoyed the media production, and we'll see you online.